Well. Coach, what do they call you? Coach? You go by several names. I mean.
Yeah, so if you knew me from my former life, they call me Blue.
And now.
In the gym space, I'm Coach T Flow.
Come on, Coach T Flow.
My mom called me Darnell.
Okay.
And a lot of people also call me Terrence.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time I have on the podcast is a god uncle, Uncle Blue.
There you go.
And I gotta tell people why I call you Uncle Blue, because you and my blood uncle Jason Jones. I'm pretty sure he's gonna watch this because he's always a watcher. He may not tell me everything he watches, but I know he's watching. You and him were friends back in the day when y'all were younger.
I talked to Jason yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, we had a long argument. So he's still my friend.
Okay, yeah. So he is something else. I'm telling you, he's a good guy though.
He's a good guy.
Uncle Jay's a good guy. I'm so glad that you joined me today, because I think that you've been creating a lot longer than I have in this world of being a content creator. I don't really think of myself as a content creator. Do you though? Do you think of yourself as a content creator?
I think of myself as a content creator, and I also think of you as a content creator, a great one at that.
Well, I appreciate that.
You've came into this space and made your mark here. I love the building. I love the art that you have in here.
Yeah,
it definitely screams you.
Thank you, Uncle Blue. I just, I think so. We've been knowing each other for a long time, but I knew you before I was creating videos. I don't even know how we officially met, because I was sitting here as I was preparing for our sit down today. I was thinking, how did I meet? Like, how did we officially meet? I don't know if it was like a meeting that you were a part of, and I was there, and I knew you, and then I went back home and told. I said, "Oh, he's like family." So, do you know how we met? I don't know. How did we meet?
Okay, so the first time that I ever saw you or remember seeing you was. You was a boy, a little boy. And he was doing Michael Jackson. What's the word I'm looking for when you do it in
impersonator?
And you was jamming.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at that little boy go. You had all the moves down pat.
Yeah.
You had the wardrobe down pack. And who was your manager at the time?
My mother.
Your mother. So that's who I remember talking to you, to Letitia Littleton. We met at the old Captain Tom's on Macon Road. It was an audition there. And you just wowed the crowd.
Wow.
Moved the crowd, so to speak. And that was my first time, my first introduction to you. And subsequently, I saw you at
other events. Yeah, so you've watched me kind of grow up in a sense.
Most definitely.
In this community. I think one thing I admire about you, Coach Terrence, Uncle Blue, is that I admire that, and we'll get into this so that people know, because this is why you're here. I want the people to know how far you have come and what you're doing now currently. But one thing I admire about you is that you have been able to take what life gave you and flip it on its head, and has just transformed your whole life. And I guess what I'm saying is that not too many people are in positions that you were in, make it out in the way that you have made it out.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
So for the people who may not know, I want you to give in so many words, like, who is Terrence Flowers? Because a lot of people see you on Facebook, they see you on Instagram, they see you on YouTube, and you're very opinionated about a lot of things. But we're not here to talk about those things that you talk about. We're here to talk about specifically your story, your life story, where you've come from. We can get into that later. But for somebody who doesn't know you, tell them who Terrence is.
Terrence Flowers is a complicated person. Not just kidding. I'm the son of Joanne and Larry. Raising my 3 brothers. I've always been a born leader. And, you know, you always have a clique of guys growing up, your little gang or your homies.
Yeah.
And I've always been, had love for my friends, but I also been the one to say, come up with the ideas. Let's do this. And my friends are like my brothers. I call them my brothers. Outside my blood brother, Sean, you got Ro and you got B.
Yeah.
We was like the amigos, like 2 sets of brothers. And when I say we've been through everything together, we've been through everything together. So, you know, even the decisions I made that weren't always good, my guys, they always had my back and I had their back, loyalty. So just being that loyal friend, that leader, when it comes to application, I think that's my story. Whatever I'm doing is how I apply myself. I'm always going to be up front. I'm always going to have my chest out, and chin up. But if I'm doing something that I had no business doing, I was all up front with that.
Sure.
And vice versa now, doing things right, trying to live a righteous life. Because I told myself I want to get put in the dirt with a legacy. So that just brings us to where we are now. The person is the same. The choices are different.
What's your favorite car?
My favorite car?
Your favorite car, like if you could go on the lot right now, what would be your favorite car?
Damn, I wish my boy Ro was here because he know what cars I like. It's like a BMW hybrid. I don't know the name of it, but it's like a BMW hybrid. It's so space.
Is it a certain year or is it the
late
newest
model? A late model, but I don't know. It's a hybrid type of BMW, and somebody had it at my gym, and I sat it. I like, bro, I love this car. I wish I had me one day. He just knew he had to run down in the car. Yeah, that's a good car. So the hybrid BMW. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Okay, let's say that me and you are riding down in this hybrid BMW, riding down the street that you grew up on. And so that means you the man. Now we're riding down the street you grew up on at that time. Okay. With this new BMW. We didn't went back to the future and went back to the past and got this BMW and we're driving down the street. So you the man. You the man. Take me what it looked like in your childhood.
When it comes from my childhood, I was a military brat.
Okay. Who was in the military? Your dad? Okay.
My dad was in the military, and we moved here when I was, I think, 11 or 12.
Okay.
My first experience in school here was at Eddie. So I went to Eddie, coming on the South Side. When I tell you, it was just, I remember fighting a lot because, you know, you the new kid. Oh, the South Side ain't no joke now.
You got to fight.
You the new kid. Then they think, because your dad's in the Army, I guess they think you got money.
Yeah.
We stayed in Camellia Apartments. Camellia ain't even there no more, but Camellia was kind of like the projects.
Right.
And I just remember fighting, taking up for my brother. You know, when somebody messed with us, we was told, hey, one go, I'll go. And then I moved. So I went to my 7th grade year. I lived on the South. 8th grade year, my mom and dad got a house on the North Star Drive area.
Wow.
And I moved to the Drive. But guess what? It's still fighting because you the new kid. No kid's going to fight. But that's where I guess I was my coming of age. You got your stripes at.
Were your parents strict?
My parents were more on the, I would say, my folks from the country. They were more lenient.
No, when you say country.
They from the country. My dad is from
outhouse country.
Outhouse country.
Okay.
Now, my mom might have had plumbing when she got older.
Okay.
My dad and them, they stayed in the country. Both of them did. But coming up on the Drive, man, you know, like I said, my best friend, Ro, B, they was also Army brats. So we kind of, they moved to the neighborhood a little bit before we did. But we connected and bonded. And if I could imagine us riding down that street back then, it would be like, Blue, where you get that car from?
Yeah.
Let me jump in. Let me ride with you because you know, once you set your mark coming up through the hood, and especially as time began to go by and we got involved in other things, people look at you as almost like a hood superhero. And for all the bad we've done probably so much more good.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood.
So, in so many words, your neighborhood was it fun? Like, did y'all like? I don't like when I was younger. And I know we come from two different generations, but when I was younger, like we went out and just made up stuff to do. Like we didn't have like we didn't go to no club, Boys and Girls Club. Not when I was younger, but I did eventually. We didn't like have like planned things to do. We just made up things. What was that like, y'all? When you was a childhood, was it like that for you, or what was it? What kind of fun things did y'all do? Like, did you get into trouble? Did you not get into trouble, or what?
Had a lot of trouble, but once again, my leadership qualities, even as it was shown as a youth. So we had structure in our childhood. It's an adjacent neighborhood called Diamondwood that's right next to us. We used to have scheduled football games against them, basketball games against them. The Jasper Saints, I don't know if you know him. He was a famous, I would say he's famous, athlete that went to Carver and played for the Georgia Bulldogs. He was from that community, so we often played against them.
So y'all were active.
We were very much active. Even as younger than that, we had woods by our house, so we used to go in the woods and play pine cone fight. Just we was active kids. Though we even though I'm dark, I got darker in the summer in the summertime because we were definitely active. Handy with tools too. I remember our basketball goal, our pole broke. So we went in the woods, chopped down a tree.
Okay.
And turned a tree, fastened a tree to the pole. And that tree lasted a long time in our backyard. So
see, we wasn't doing nothing like that. We wasn't doing nothing like
active,
that.
we was hands-on. We 70s, baby. We were built different.
We didn't do none of that. Like we didn't build no tree. We didn't
build no goals.
No, we didn't build no goals. We kind of like we got into trouble, but like we were not creative like that. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, because like I said, it goes to, hey, we need this. Let's go get it, and we just made it happen.
Well, so take me through. Let's go a little bit older because I want to know moments that changed you as a person. Take me through those moments. Or was there a moment that changed you as a person?
I think people from my generation might be able to resonate with the fact that we didn't have mentors. We were just young guys out there. And I think when it comes to allure, I must say that the Dr. Dre album, it was like a beacon. And even NWA, but so enough Dr. Dre around that time to start smoking. Like I say, the mentors wasn't in the community like that to say, hey, you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
My dad was in the military. He was often gone. My mom was working. So we kind of had free reign, so to speak. And we made our own choices. But, to start it smoking marijuana and listening to that type of music and not having that balance. Because keep in mind now, we had New Edition and music was different back then. You had balance, but the allure from the gangsterism and the money making that kind of pulled me towards this way. When before I was balanced. I remember me and my brother in Row and B when LL Cool J I'm Bad came out. My mom had a Curtis Mathis. We used to push the TV out. We used to act like we had a DJ. We used to have a Kango. And we used to act it out. Basically, we were doing a skit. What they call a skit now.
Right.
So we had real big imaginations.
Right.
But when that type of music hit our ears,
it just kind of influenced you in a way.
It most definitely influenced us, and not having somebody
to correct those influences.
To say, hey, that's just music. It's not real life.
Yeah.
But wanted to emulate that. That's why I understand these kids now when they listening to the Pooh Shiesty, when they listen to the NBA Youngboy. I know how it can influence them. That's why I'm constantly telling my boys at the gym, hey, that's just music. Don't you try to be like that.
Right.
Because I didn't have that person telling me that.
Right. So what I hear you saying is that it was the influence of what you were listening to that you unintentionally, without knowing, you turned into.
Most definitely.
What kind of choices, when you say you made choices, what kind of choices did you make that it ended up you having to deal with consequences that you wish you hadn't to deal with?
Well, it was a time stamp. It wasn't just one event. Now, between time, the writing was on the wall. Once that seed was planted, once that egg was hatched, it was like, this is what I want to do. I remember it was a song, once again, I have to refer to music because I knew where I was at in that time of my life. Bun B and Pimp C, UGK, they had a song called Pocket Full of Stones. And I knew that song word for word. and I wanted to get me some stones, and
Okay.
I can relate to what was going on in my neighborhood. Although the drive is I would say middle class to lower middle class neighborhood, those things that they were rapping about and talking about, they were going on in my community, and I saw it, and I wanted to get that quick money, and I wanted to be just like the music I was listening to.
And so, take me, because what I hope is that there's somebody young or somebody who knows somebody young that is in that kind of experience right now in their life. And I want to try to catch them before they take the wrong turn. So if you could give me a image of how bad it got for you, and then we can get to the victory. But give me an image of how bad it got for you as far as the choices that you made as a younger adult. Or maybe even an older adult too.
Well, it was always money, money, money. And then once you get into that lifestyle, it brings so much.
And when you say lifestyle, what do you mean? Like,
well, I mean, so let me scoot back a little bit. In our neighborhood, it was, it never really was, with me growing up, it never really was Crips and Bloods. It was a gang called Major Problems. And they were like, they was a little bit older than us, and some of them our age. But they were kind of like what we looked up to. You know, you had Nard K. I think me and Nard K might have been about a year or two apart. And
so you were in gangs.
I really wasn't. I was my clique. My clique was me, Ro, B, and my brother.
Okay.
But the gang that was Major Problems that was in our neighborhood, we kind of hung around them until we got to a little bit higher in high school. Then we started kind of branching out. We even got to fighting with them one time because they were like, y'all from this neighborhood, and it really was like, these were our friends from school. Because like I said, we were military kids. We wasn't really just like hardcore, you know, from the hood. We were just raised in the hood. But once I started getting money, once I started selling drugs.
How old was that?
That was dabbling in high school with marijuana. And then it went to more stronger drugs. When it got real for me, I would say, is when I'm just gonna skip a lot just to get there.
Sure.
I was talking to a girl. You know, there's always a girl involved.
Lord Jesus, I'm telling you.
Me and her brother just didn't see eye to eye on things at the time, and we were just fighting left and right.
Your older brother, right?
No, me and this particular girl, her brother.
Her brother. Okay.
I don't even know why me and him was getting into it, but it was just time we were getting into it. So I'm getting money. I'm selling weed. And I did something. I made a real critical mistake that caused somebody to lose their life. After getting into a fight with him again, I went to their playground. They stayed in the country. I'm not going to say where, but they stayed in the country. And I went down there. I should have never went. It was no reason I should have went back down there. I was just being just kind of like cocky. Went down there with a firearm. It was at the time it was a popular firearm called a Tech. Went down there with a Tech. And got into it with some guys, and leaving the club, shots were fired, and somebody lost their life. That's when things got real for me. I was on the run for murder. I couldn't go home. A friend of mine at the time, rest in peace, Big Sam, he actually took me to Lynette, Alabama, where he was from, and that's where I kind of hid out at. Whole bunch of capers up there. But eventually, you know, I thought I was getting hot. I thought people there were snitching on me, so I came back to Columbus, and I eventually got caught and convicted of aggravated assault and got sent to prison. I think I was 20 years old at the time.
20 years old in prison.
Yeah, got sent to Jackson.
And how long did you stay there?
I did about 3 years in prison.
3 years.
Yeah.
What was like? I mean, the obvious answer is it was dark, but being a 20-year-old, 3 years, so you got out at 24, 23?
I had to do more than that because I got out. I was about 26 when I got out.
Okay.
But
I guess what I'm saying is like, you're adult, almost, your young adult years were in prison.
Yeah, exactly. My young adult years was in prison. So I went to prison in, so long ago, 94, I think. I got out in 98. 98. And I think I was 26 when I got out.
Okay, so like, how does a young, what's going through your mind? Like, take me through the journey of what that looked like.
Okay, so, well, let me back up because it might be one of your viewers watching saying, how did you get 4 years on a body?
Yeah.
I didn't snitch.
Okay.
It was other people in the car with me, and the people at the venue were the agitators. It was really, arguably, it was a self-defense situation, just being honest. We wasn't the first to fire.
You got the one, you were to blame for it.
We kind of did too much. Like, if somebody steps on your foot, but you punch them in the face 100 times.
Okay.
Like, does that match? You know what I'm saying? Even though they step on your foot first, does what you put back match? So I was explaining it like that. But going to prison, I ain't gonna lie. When I first went to jail, it was people from my neighborhood there. They already knew how to, kind of like move around. And like I say, just being in that street mind frame, it was kind of like a graduation. From the streets, that's part of it. Going, call it bid and doing the bid. It was part of it. So
going to prison was like a graduation.
Like graduation from the streets.
Really?
Yeah. Like really, like you're like when you get out, you're like a celebrity. But while you bidding, you learning other things that you didn't learn before. It was some Migos in there.
Yeah.
They're telling me now. Keep in mind that before, when I did dabble like the pocket full of stones, I bought work from somebody in my neighborhood, one of the MP members. I'm not gonna say his name, even though it's 40 years ago, I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah, sure.
But we used to, get the crack and just break it down and sell it. But being in prison, I'm talking to people who telling me how to get cocaine and learn how to rock it up and stretch it and make more money. So going to prison really, you would think it was a deterrent, but it really, like I say, it's kind of like your walk of fame, you graduating from being in the streets.
Yeah. And was that a feeling you admired or a feeling that you didn't like, or?
I loved it. When you're in the streets and you're doing, I have to watch my language. When you're doing street stuff, a lot of things can come at you, and by going to prison and getting out, your reputation precedes you. So some things that some people might go through by getting tried up, everybody gonna get tried. But getting tried up, people trying to break in your spots, which I've been through that. People robbing you, been through that. It's lessened when you done did a bid, and people kind of know, like, hey, if you go, you're going to have to go all the way if you catch me down bad. So it kind of builds your reputation in the streets.
Yeah.
And I really, my whole career in drugs was preceded by that first bid I did.
So in total, how long were you living that kind of lifestyle? Just in total, so you went to jail, you went to prison when you were 20. And then you got out when you were 26. And so then you started selling drugs. I'm just trying to go through that timeline.
Started back selling
drugs. And how long, or when did you stop?
My last bid, I got locked up again.
Okay.
It was something crazy, but somebody actually put it in my Facebook post a couple of days ago. They brought it back up. But
Lord. People would do that.
Yeah, they were trying to assassinate my character.
Of course they will.
But that was in my last bid was in 2010. 2010. So from 2000, I got out in 98. Tried to do the work thing. Went back to what I know. I would say from 2000, another 10 years went by, and that's when I really start to excel and get to another level where Metro Narcotics labeled me and my friends a medium-sized DTO, and what a DTO is a drug trafficking organization. That's what we were labeled on our Fed paperwork. Because between that time, I also caught a Fed case, a federal trafficking case. I took that to trial and I beat it. And a lot of people don't beat federal indictments. They have like a 99% success rates on conviction. But Coach,
was there any point in all those years? Did you have anybody, or what did you think that I shouldn't be doing this, or something that's not right, or you grew up in a spiritual household. Did you feel like God was like talking to you and trying to guide you, but you just wouldn't listen? Like, was there hope? Was you thinking about changing your ways back then, or were you were set on what you were doing?
The only time I talked about God was like when them packs got caught up. Oh God, why this one?
Right.
But definitely came from a spiritual household on my mom's end for the most part.
Yeah.
But once you move out and that mama arm, she ain't an arm length of you, all that went out the window.
So there was that one point that you just said, I'm not doing this no more.
No.
You just kept but what was so attractive about it? Was it the fame of you being notarized, or what?
It really wasn't that. The fame of being notarized, it was the money. You know, back then, like how the streets are now and how they are back then, it was totally different. Like you could really run up a bag. All of us had money. A lot of times now, not just getting to the streets politics, but now time you have a shot caller, somebody who doing in their hood, and everybody else get fronted, so to speak. But back then, you know, me and in my clique, we all had money. We had a real organized situation how we did things, and it wasn't just like one person was balling. Everybody had cake.
How much were you making, like on a weekly or maybe day to day basis? How much were you making? Because you say if it's the money that kept you going or kept you in it, you must have been making an extensive amount of money.
We made millions supporting 4 people in their household for years. A lot of time, our plug can keep up with us. We reached out to somebody. I mean, on MySpace, met this guy through a guy.
That's old
out there. Yeah,
that's
old. Through that was a Cali plug.
Wow.
It was called Perps. It was a strain of marijuana called Perps, and we was like one of the first people to have our own network. And we went out there, and they couldn't keep up with us. Not to mention, when it came to us distributing cocaine, our Atlanta plugs, they couldn't keep up with us. Like I would literally sometimes go to Atlanta, get a bird, come back. A bird is a kilo.
Okay, thank you for the thank you, because I don't know the terminology. Okay,
I would get a bird. We come back and we would sell it, and I would be back up in Atlanta that same day, and it would be like the plug, like, hey man, you know, because there are people like you just left, you coming back, but our network, it was
broad. It was broad.
We was making a lot of money.
You was making millions, more than 200 million.
Nah.
Okay.
I wasn't making that. Look, and I'm talking about over time. Now our re-up, we was probably investing, I would say on a monthly basis, was probably close to about probably about a little bit over $250,000.
Yeah, no. That makes sense. And you were young. You still were young. You were like 28, 27.
I was still relatively young. And then, like I said...
and you had kids. Did you have kids at that point?
I had my son. I think I said I had my son Jay then, and I had Corey and Marjorie. Yeah, I had 3 boys at the time.
3 boys under what? How old were they?
They were young. They were young back then.
Like babies?
Definitely toddlers. They were definitely toddlers, but and I even made I had a podcast that I did a couple weeks ago, and I spoke about how I used to make plays sometimes. If their mom had me watching them, I'd be like, "Oh, if their mom had me watching them, like, you with me? We're gonna make this play." So
a play is a
transaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna make this transaction, and sometimes I can't deny how my past used to be. I would have my children with me while I'm going to sell the 2 and a baby, which is like 2.25 ounces.
Yeah.
Or 4-way, which is 4 ounces.
Right.
But my kids would be with me sometimes. Not a lot of times, but there were times they were with me. And I remember Young Jeezy, the artist, the rapper Young Jeezy. He had a line in one of his songs that he said he practiced what he preached and he preached what he practiced. 100,000 under his mattress, and I always wanted to have $100,000 under my mattress. And when I achieved that, just to have 100,000 loose cash up under my mattress, I had pulled it out. I told my girl to count it at the time, and she's like, "It's too much money." I was like, "Yeah, it's 100,000." So
take me. Let's because that's a lot. That's a lot
cash.
I mean, that's a lot.
And waiting on the re-up. Let me stop that too.
Take me to the moment that it all changed. Like you made a decision that you were not going to live this lifestyle. Give me the exact moment. Like, where were you, and what were you doing to make that decision?
We started getting packs caught up. Metro Narcotics was on us hard, man. They were really trying to get me. And one thing about it, like I told you in the beginning, I'm a leader, and like the 48 Laws of Power, when it comes to being a leader, playing the game, I've always researched on how to be the best I can be, no matter what I was doing. And being in the streets, I felt that our operation was, not gonna say foolproof, because there's nothing that's foolproof, but we had systems in place. Like one time, we had 50 pounds of marijuana get caught up, but we had a plug inside the shipping agency.
Right,
so
right.
we already knew that the cops were on it, and not to get it. But once again, we lost about $60,000 worth of merchandise.
Sure.
And it just kept getting hit back to back, but the cops couldn't get me. And what they did was they went through my trash and they found marijuana that I was smoking. They found paraphernalia, and they used that for a warrant
To come and get you.
to come in my house. And they found a QP, which is like 4 ounces of weed. We was smoking out of that, but they found cash too. They found I think $60,000 worth of cash at the time.
And was that the moment? That was the moment.
That was the beginning of the moment, because it began, like I said, downward spiral. Eventually, I got sentenced to 2 years in prison. And
you were how old again?
Now at this time, I'm in my 30s. I had to do a little math. In my 30s. But the risk, I had been doing this game over 20 years.
Sure.
I got kids, and I got my other kids now. I got Trini and Dimitri now. And it got to the point where the risk of me going to prison and spending a substantial amount of time in prison away from my kids.
Yeah.
That's what, because I'm that dad. My kids love me. I love them. And it was hard. It was a hard transition, especially seeing some of the people you basically was raised with. They're excelling. Now here you are. You're not doing that no more.
You still doing the same old, yeah.
Yeah, no, I stopped when I got out. And I'm struggling at life. Mental health, weight spiraling out of control. Don't have the capital I had. But, I stayed prayed up. You know I got a praying mama. And I weathered the storm. But it was rough, man. Knowing your homeboy, y'all going out, they basically, hey, man, they buying your outfit because you don't have the money. All the money you are getting or do have from working or whatever, it has to go back to your household.
So how were you able to make a living but not live the old lifestyle?
Believe it or not, that began my first, that was the beginnings of media for me.
Okay.
When I got out, a friend of mine bought me a Canon 7D. I still got that camera.
You do?
I still got my very first camera. And shot a video, did some pictures. And back then, didn't nobody have stuff like that.
Sure.
Like, everybody got a camera now.
Sure.
But back then, everybody didn't have a camera like that. So models, a lot of models.
So you started doing photography or videography?
Believe it or not, I shot a video first, but it was like a one-off.
Okay.
And I started taking pictures.
Wow.
And models began to say, hey, I need pictures for this, I need the pictures for that. So that kind of started my first brand, which is a photography brand.
Got it.
And that's how I was able to support myself in the beginning.
Wow. And so you had you were a business? Did you run your own business? Was that a business for you, or?
It was a hustle. I got to keep in mind I'm a hustler. So I didn't look at it as a business. My first business is 4.0. This is my first
4.0 fitness.
Yeah, I'm a hustler. I'm a born hustler. I was 8 years old selling lemonade stands, telling a two for $3, all that. I was doing that when I was a child when I stayed in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So I'm at Fort Polk, Louisiana. So I've always been a hustler.
Yeah.
So even taking the photos, having a lot of clients doing that, it was always a hustle. I never looked at it as a job.
So when did because I think you had Zombie Records.
Zombie Life.
Zombie Life, you had those. When did that come into play? How did all that happen?
What Zombie Life was, it was a lifestyle. It was a culture.
Oh, okay.
So Zombie Life was actually a record with Dip and Young Thug.
Okay.
And the name of the record was Zombie.
Okay.
I'm a zombie.
Okay.
And we did a lot of photo ops to promote the record with merch, with
Oh,
merchandise,
okay.
T-shirts.
Okay.
That right there was really that put me out there. Taking those photos.
Put you on the map.
That's what put me on the map. And
Wow.
I took Zombie Life and created kind of like a vlog with it.
Yeah.
Something happened in the city. Like I was telling you, I was Colin before Colin was even probably. I don't think Colin probably been a toddler when I started.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But Zombie Life, because things that happen at night, those zombies come out at night. So we used to go have a couple of reporters, crime scenes, stuff that happens in the city.
Yeah.
Zombie Life news. This what happened.
I think it's so interesting that whatever you put in front of you, you always like turned it into something that normal people wouldn't be able to turn into. I mean, I think more than a leadership skill, I think that is a great visionary. Like whether it was bad or was good, you all have been able to turn things into something that worked and that did well. Mm-hmm. I wonder, how are you able to turn into the man you are today?
My kryptonite has always been, I would say, being a hustler. Because being a hustler, a lot of times you be the jack of all trades, but the master at none.
Yeah.
And you never get to optimize something you're good at. I think, once again, Zombie Life as a culture could have probably went so far, but that's when I got into fitness. I was ashamed of how I looked. I went through a rocky marriage and a separation.
Oh, you were married at that time?
I was married at the time.
Okay.
I was with my former wife. We was together a long time, but we eventually got married. I think like 2000.
Wow. How long were you guys married?
We was married a while, but we wasn't married a while because.
But how long were you together?
I would say probably about 20 years, close to 20
years.
Close to 20
wow.
years. We was together a while, but it didn't work out. And when it got bad, of course, you look at the person in the mirror. Like this is somebody wants to be with.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I had just got out of prison. I'm not hustling no more. I'm at my heaviest weight ever. The little money that I did have saved up is running out. So living that lifestyle that I've been probably living off and on since I was a young man till now. Now I'm in my 30s. I can't live it no more. Like I said, when it comes to me doing stuff, my homeboys got to help me. So it was a different switch for me. And I know my mental health, we don't talk about that, but I know how I felt. And I know what I know now, it was mental health. I just felt at an all-time low. So
yeah, depressed.
Just very, you're losing your family. You're doing what you can the best, but your girl don't want you. Your kids calling you fat. It got rough, man. Of course, you just can't you can't be mad at your girl and take it out on your kids, but you were fat. You can't go out and play with them because you get tired or you lazy.
Yeah.
So after hitting what my perceived in my life as being rock bottom. I told myself, my friend, I got to talk about David Daniels. I felt like he didn't know how close I was to just almost ending it all. Like,
really?
What made me not do it, I think I was being a kitty cat. I'll say that. I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot. And I thought about my children. I just broke down and crying because I was like, what would they say if I took myself out?
Yeah.
And around that time, I think a day later, Dave was like, hey, my boy Dave, he was like, and I didn't even tell him. He was just like, hey, man, I got something for you. Come with me. I said, where we going? He said, just come on. He took me to Max Fitness on Moon Road. And I'm like, man, I'm not finna go in there. He's like, yes, you are, man. You need this. He said, man, you gotta get yourself together.
Wow.
And the first time I went in there, Powerhouse Gym is right down the street from where we at right now.
Really?
The owner of Powerhouse was in there with him.
Wow.
And he was like, talking to Dave, like, why you bring him here, man? Yeah, boy, big,
man,
he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing this like, he ain't gonna make it. What? And that kind of, his name is Coach DeMarco, not DeMarco, Mario, Coach Mario over there. And I don't know if he was telling me to hype me up or he was just talking loud, but that right there was the beginning of my fitness journey. I think
your mental health and fitness just changed.
It was together. And,
wow. And what year was that?
We're probably talking about 2012.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more than that, 13, 14, around in there. And that just kind of started my evolution to what you have now.
Yeah. Let's say that you are writing down, let's say like this. let's say that you're in a room full of people who know you, and there's probably like, let's say 200 people. Let's give a big amount. What are you hoping they like are thinking about you as a person? Like, what are you hoping people think about you?
I hope they think I care about them. I hope they think that my heart is always in a good place. I hope they think about love. I love my friends. I love my community. I love my family.
Yeah.
And I hope they think about a legacy.
Yeah. Are these things that you think that people misunderstand about you, that you have heart? Yeah,
I do.
And why do you think that?
I think people have short memories. I've done so much for my community. I had the first economic pop-up shop because we have over 80 vendors out there in the parking lot of my gym. Before they got a gate up now, but before then, partnered with some young ladies, Kaylee, Jamisha, and we had 80 vendors out there. Haven't been done since to help economics in our African American community. When Whisperwood caught on fire, I shut down my gym for 3 days.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember we opened up a clothing bank.
Yeah, I remember we delivered some clothes to the individual.
I've had countless nonprofits use my facility, my gym, to help give products or give services to less fortunate people. So I've done so much for my community. I've donated money. I donate my time. I donate my resources time and time again. And sometimes people take all that and they forget about it over one situation, over one thing that you might disagree with them about. And then all of a sudden they forgot about all the other things.
Yeah.
And that's where I have a problem with that. Like, hey, you know what? We can disagree with some things, but don't forget all the good that I've done.
Yeah. I also think that people look at your life and assume one thing, but then when they get to know you, it's like, oh, he's not
that's
like
my story.
that.
That's my story.
Yeah.
It was a young lady who worked out at that gym, and she had a whole preconceived notion about me and how I was based off social media. Now, let me tell you something about the old GOAT coach now. The old GOAT coach, a crafty fella now. I will play country dog, and I will use social media to the fullest. If they say go to the 1 yard line, I'm going to the 0.5 line because I know how to push and manipulate people on social media, especially with marketing. I got a business. I got a brick and mortar business.
Yeah,
I got lease. I got water. I got lights. So I have to do whatever I can do to optimize that visibility to make people say, let me try that guy out. And I think people take a social media Coach T Flow as the real life coach, Terrence.
Yeah.
Coach T Flow is a character. Terrence is who I am.
And who what's the difference between the both?
Coach T Flow can be brash, he can be cocky, but it comes from a place of success. It comes from him saying, hey, that person right there, they came over here, they lost 70 pounds. So I can pop my ish because I've done that. I know how to
you
do
help
it.
them. Mm-hmm.
I know how to do them. Terrence is the person that, hey, you ain't got it this month. Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you come on over here this month, but we'll split it up next month. You just catch up and do it like that because I don't want you to stop what you got going on.
Sure.
Now I would never tell nobody that on camera. I guess on camera now. But I understand how life hits us all, and I've been blessed. I'm still here. I've been in business going on 7 years.
Sure.
So I understand that we all have trials and tribulations. So you just got to understand the character and understand the man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about legacy and meaning. What do you hope at the end of your life? Let's say you done lived it, and I don't know what the end is for you. I don't know if it's 90 or whatever you think.
Hope it ain't no time soon.
Well, sure, absolutely. But people have this age in their head that they think is old and they're about to die. I don't know what the age is, but let's just say you're on the end of your life. Mm-hmm. And you're on your deathbed and your kids are around you, people, loved ones around you. What are you hoping that you left in this world at the end of your life?
LIL.
What's that mean?
Legacy, impact, and love. I hope I had a legacy. I hope it's something that I've done in the community that people will remember forever. I hope I had an impact on everybody who came into my sphere. My children, of course.
Yep.
My friends, and love. I haven't always been a person that showed love. It was dark times where I showed hate. If somebody had something I wanted, I would try to figure out a way to take it. Times in my life like that. But ending my life, I would want people to know that I love everybody and I want the best for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And you have made it out some of the hardest times in your life. And
Most
I think you're definitely a fighter. And in your own way, you're a fighter.
Man, I've been tied up with guns in my head, man. I've been in situations where a drug deal's about to go down bad. Yeah. Everybody got guns. We up in Atlanta in a penthouse, and I'm like, oh, y'all gonna die. So I am blessed. I'm still here, and I've taken life lessons and flipped it. And all my boys who I train, I'm always in their ear about, hey, don't let a temporary decision or emotion cost you a lifetime of turmoil.
Yeah.
Let's stay on them.
Let's speak to the younger generation right now. Like, if you had the number to every young male in this community or in the world, what would you say to them? What would you text or call them? Or would you call them? I would
say, believe it or not, and going back to the beginning of the interview, I would say dance to the music, don't live it. Because the time of your life that you're living right now is short. My 18 to 26 was a short time of my life. I've almost lived more like this than I have like that. So don't live your life off of music of somebody else's life. Have goals. Mentors. Mentors mean a lot. I always wanted to be a physical therapist. And I done went from a drug dealer, photographer, videographer, but guess what? I ended up being a personal trainer. So my high school career, you go to career day?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a physical therapist in high school. Kendrick High School, 12th grade, career day. I'm a personal trainer. You know how close that is?
Yeah.
That's close. A personal trainer
and a physical
therapist is
real
close.
Yeah.
Now, a physical therapist is you got to go through school.
Yeah, you got to get credentials and all that. Yeah.
But they're close. So with life lessons and everything I went through in life, I still end up being close to what I wanted to be as a child.
I think it's so interesting you said that because I think anybody who misunderstands you or don't understand what kind of person you are, that statement alone will show that you've always had a heart to want to help people in some way. Always. You just didn't know. So if that was the case, and I know that, and some people may argue because people have their own opinions, but I know that even when you were in your 20s and you were not doing right or whatever, I feel like you were still helping somebody in a sense. Always. So in that right there, that's like, can't nobody argue with that. And now look what God has done. Now God has made you in a position where you can physically help people become better version of themselves while you're becoming a better version of you.
I
love that.
Explained. and I always been like that. And like you said, even my dark times, I have a gym member now. He's a grown man, and I'm not gonna say it now because he's a shy guy. But when he was a child, the ice cream truck used to pull up, and it's just like the movies. I used to pull out $100 bill. Hey, everybody, what they want, it don't matter. And just pay for everything. When families in the hood needed some, especially where we had our operations, those families they used to get a white envelope, in our hood, it was real close like that. Some of the people done died off and stuff like that, but it was always, hey, you take care of me, I take care of you. Yeah. Even when things weren't, I wasn't living right. It was always, I always cared about the next person.
What's your hope for the next 10 years? Like, what do you expect to be?
Okay, well, in the next 10 years, of course, if y'all didn't know, I have a new girl. We actually been together. We've been our second year of our relationship. Yeah. Coming this summer, and man, she's my rock, man. And I hope I don't get emotional right here because
it's okay.
This is the part where it's just like you thought you had somebody in your corner, you thought you had somebody that had your back, but I've never felt what I feel with her. And it's like sky's the limit. I definitely want to put a ring on it. That's one thing I want to do. That's at the top of my list. But when it comes to my personal life and my business, I want to scale my business. She helps me with her business. She has a full-time career. but she also helps me, man. And she's been in my fray since she's took that that lead to become my right hand woman. And man, things have just been going up for me, man. And she keeps me straight. Even today, right while I was outside in the parking lot, she cussed me out about something I posted. And I took it down. Yeah. Because before, man, it's like, you know, being a hustler, women just kind of like, they don't voice their opinion. They let you do what you want to. But how she is, she's like, I don't care about none of that. You're not that person no more. When you do something wrong, I'm going to challenge you on it. I'm going to say, hey, I don't like this. And I think other people don't like it either. And 80% of the time, she's right. 20% of the time, like, baby, I'm going to stand on business. And she lets me be a man now.
Sure.
She lets me be a man, but she's also my friend.
Sure.
So I want to scale my business. I want to get my business to where I can eventually have multiple locations as an indie gym. You don't hardly see that. And I want to really go back and visit media a little bit deeper. I got a couple gigs coming up. I want to be able to kind of like pull back from the gym because fitness has been part of my life going on a decade. From being a trainer and 7 years into being a business owner, I want to pull out the camera and do things like this, a podcast and produce and come up with ideas, do skits.
Sure.
So I kind of want to revisit what I started
earlier,
15 years ago. Yeah.
Well, Uncle Blue, Terrence, Coach Flo, T Flo, I'm just thankful that you're here, and I hope that today, whoever's listening or watching, is that what they got from your story is that tragedy happened because of your choices.
Most definitely.
But here's how God intervened and what he did.
Amen.
And because you were obedient to the voice of God and you did not go back to that old lifestyle.
Did not go back.
You have favor like you've never had. You understand things that you never understand. And now you are where you are. I always think about it to say if you want to become the person that like you always wanted to be, you got to say what you've never said, do what you've never done, and go where you've never gone. And only then will you be the person that you've always wanted to be. And you are a living example of what that is. So I'm honored to know you. I'm honored to call you uncle. And I hope that in this interview, people got just that. So thank you for joining.
They did too.
I hope so too.
Hope they got a better understanding of the host of the most because Coach the GOAT, Coach T Flo.
Well, I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Uncle Blue.
Thank you.
Brought to you by MSW Productions.